out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record.
What's up, fellas? It's your boy Crossover MMA, and we're back with another video. This is my UFC Vegas 95 recap. I went 7-3 on this card total, 4-2 on the main card. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So first fight on the card, we got Stephanie Luciano versus Talita Alencar. So Alencar comes out and she lands a head kick to start the fight. A nice little reaction out of nowhere. Totally came out of nowhere. None of us saw it. Luciano just smiled at her when she landed it and then proceeded to win like every striking exchange in the first round from range. Alencar couldn't really close the distance. She was giving up reach and height, and you just could tell she couldn't really get to Luciano. And I actually was surprised that Alencar didn't even try to implement any of the grappling in round one. This was a clear 10-9 Luciano round. Round two, Luciano comes out and just gets right to keeping Alencar at range with jabs, all her other strikes, and Alencar just couldn't really get to her. And I mean, that pretty much was like the whole round. Like Alencar just wasn't having much success and couldn't really get to Luciano and close the distance. Luciano was showing very good footwork. She actually defended a takedown well in this round, and it was another clear 10-9 round for Luciano. Round three, Luciano comes out, lands a big straight right and uppercut early in the round. Luciano defends one takedown. Luciano then lands a flying knee and drops Alencar. And just another round of it not really being close on the feet, and it's a very clear 10-9 Luciano. So Luciano wins 30-27. Moving up the card, we have The Law versus Jarno Aarons. And in this fight, the first round, you know, both guys come out. They're trying to measure. They're moving. Zalaw's using his footwork and his movement. Aarons, you can tell like he was trying to get right into the action very quickly. You could tell he was looking to land like some big strikes and do damage on the feet. But he was just missing Zalaw. Like he was coming up a little bit short. He couldn't quite get the range. But you could tell like he was definitely trying to get to Zalaw. You could definitely tell he was trying to get to Zalaw. But like I said, had very good head movement. His footwork to evade the strikes was very good. And wasn't a lot thrown. Then next thing you know, they get into the clinch. Yusuf Zalal jumps on Aaron's back, locks in a rear naked choke. Aaron's taps, and that's the fight. So moving up to the next fight, we have Janata Dinez versus Carl Williams. So first round of this fight, Dinez clips Williams early with a left hook twice. Then a little bit later in the round, Williams catches Dinez with a jab and like buckles him. At this point, up into it, like the only really difference in the round was Dinez was landing a lot of leg kicks. And Dinez also defended one weak takedown attempt in the first round. So I thought that round was a clear 10-9 for Dinez. Round two, more leg kicks. Dinez was pretty much just eating up Williams' legs the first and second round of the fight. Even in the second round, both guys were landing a little bit, but Dinez was landing the heavier strikes and was landing at a little higher clip than Williams. I gave this round to Dinez as well, as he landed more and he landed the kicks, which in my opinion were the difference of the round. So it's another 10-9 for Dinez. Round three starts, and this is the round that Carl Williams finally wants to use his wrestling. He ended up getting rocked like very badly. And then as soon as he got rocked, like he shot a takedown, and then next thing you know, he's on top. He's controlling Dinez for majority of the round, but unfortunately it's too little too late. It's a 10-9 round for Williams, but unfortunately Dinez already is up 2 rounds to none. So Dinez wins by decision. Moving right along, we have Carol Rosa versus Penny Kienza. So first round of this fight, Carol Rosa comes out and it's just already getting right on the inside leg kicks, the outside leg kicks, and you already can tell that these are going to be a big factor in the fight. It was really the difference, like even in the first round and just throughout the entire fight, honestly. I mean, you could already see Kienza starting to get affected by the leg kicks. So round one was very clear, 10-9 Rosa. Round two, Rosa's right back in her face, right back on the leg kick. She's mixing up the leg kicks with some of her other strikes, like the jab, the teeps, the right hands. Like Carol Rosa was mixing it up very well with the leg kicks and just was keeping Kianzad guessing the whole time. Kianzad then gets cut in this round, like I think it was on her forehead. And I mean, she's just bleeding all over the place. She essentially was like wearing a blood mask in the second round. Rosa has Kianzad's blood like all over her as well and was just unfazed by it and just proceeded to continue just chew up that lead leg, and it's another 10-9 round for Rosa. Then round 3, Rosa comes out and gets a takedown early in the round. Kianzad gets back to her feet. You can see her lead leg is all but gone at this point. Rosa lands 2 big elbows and some more leg kicks, and you just can see that Kianzad's just trying to make it through the end of the round and just make it to the end of the fight. It's another 10-9, clear 10-9 round for Rosa. She wins 30-27. Moving up the card, we have Toshiomi Kazama versus Shah Grigor. So Kazama comes out and shoots immediately. Like as soon as the fight starts, he shoots. They get tied up on the fence. And then next thing you know, Kazama lands a knee on like they were in that position where like the guy's like halfway up, halfway down, but he had his hand down. I know a rule change is coming where you can land knees and this isn't an issue, but Kazama landed a knee to the face. So there was a break in the action. He lost the position. And then as soon as they started back, what did he do? Instant shot again from Kazama and gets him down, takes his back for the rest of the round. Clear 10-9 round for Kazama. So round 2, left hook drops Kazama early in the round for Gal. He lands on top with some ground and pound. He's looking to finish the fight. And then next thing you know, Kazama locks in a nasty triangle from the bottom, gets the tap, Kazama takes it by submission. Moving right along, we have Chelsea Chandler versus Yana Santos. So in this fight, round 1, Santos comes out. She's looking very good. She's landing some leg kicks early. The footwork is looking crisp. She's got really good movement, really good footwork. Head kick from Santos lands. The first round, Santos is like darting in, landing, getting out without getting hit. Chandler's not really landing much. Santos also lands a front kick to the face in the first round. So that round 1 was a clear 10-9 for Santos. Then round 2, Santos lands a big right hand, drops Chandler at probably the 440 mark in round 2. Santos lets her up, continues to land more strikes and the heavier strikes of the round. And again, it's just a very clear 10-9. Round 3, it's more of the same. Chandler gets a little bit more aggressive, but her getting aggressive is like just getting in the clinch and doing some little strikes in the clinch. And by this point, like she needs a finish. And like I was saying, she was just getting in the clinch. Santos freed herself from the clinch. Wasn't really much happening. And that pretty much was how the third round really went. It was a close round personally, but I gave it to Santos 30-27. But if you gave it 29-28 for Santos, like I would totally understand. But Santos gets it by decision. Moving right along, we have Chris Gutierrez against Kwang Lee. So round 1, as I said in my pre-fight video, you have to know how to deal with the leg kicks of Chris Gutierrez. If you don't know how to deal with them, you are in for a long night. First round, Gutierrez comes out, landing body kicks, then some leg kicks. Then Lee catches a body kick, southpaw body kick. Gutierrez managed to get back to his feet. And then what does he do? He gets right back to chewing up that lead leg. And Lee isn't checking any of the leg kicks, and Gutierrez pretty much cruises to a 10-9 round. He had better defense, better distance management, clear 10-9 round for Gutierrez. Then round 2, Lee comes out a little more forward on the pressure. Lee lands a few leg kicks of his own to start the round. Gutierrez answers with some of his leg kicks, and you can see they're having a big effect on Lee. Then Lee shoots into the clinch, gets the back, has a body lock, and then he jumps on the back and locks in a body triangle. They fall to the ground with Lee on top. Gutierrez scrambles and ends up recovering his guard, but this is a clear 10-9 round for Lee. So it's 1-1 going into the third. So round 3, Gutierrez is just peppering that lead leg of Lee again. And in this round, you really can see Lee starting to get affected and move kind of gingerly on that leg. Then Gutierrez also lands a very nice right hand, A few more leg kicks and pretty much just cruises to a 29-28 decision. Moving right along, we have Danny Barlow versus Nikolai. So round one, so lots of measuring early, a lot of lead hand fighting with southpaw versus orthodox. Barlow lands a flying knee to the body as Nikolai was coming in. Then a straight left from Barlow land, but it was like on the end of his punch, so it didn't really do much damage. Then after that, both guys land some kicks. They get into the clinch, then disengage, and this is when both guys, I think at this point, like they had felt out each other enough, and they kind of got a little bit more aggressive with one another. Nikolai lands a couple teeps to the body. It's a close round, but I gave it to Barlow. It was a little more active, threw a little bit more, landed a little bit heavier strikes, so it's 10-9 Barlow. Round two, Barlow lands some strikes at the start of the round. A very nice straight left counter that was beautifully timed. Nikolai didn't really land much or even do much this round. He just wasn't throwing enough volume. Like the output was too low. And for me, it was another clear 10-9 round for Barlow. Then in round three, Nikolai comes out much more aggressive this round, much more forward on the pressure. He's starting to land more. At this point, Barlow's starting to slow down a little bit, and he's using his footwork a little more to like evade, but he's just not really throwing as much as he was in the first two rounds. I would say that Nikolai could get this round. Barlow just didn't really throw a whole lot. So Barlow gets it. I think he ended up winning a split decision, but I had it 29-28 for Barlow. Then moving up to the co-main event, we have Damon Jackson versus Chepe Mate. So round one, the guys get right into it. They get locked up in the clinch. Jackson is landing some nasty knees to the body. Chepe Mariscal lands a throw. Jackson gets right back to his feet. It then lands like 3 or 4 big left hands in the clinch. Chepe Mariscal like kind of good. Then Mariscal lands another takedown with a little bit of ground and pound. Jackson then like works his way back up, and then he has like a front headlock on Mariscal. But then Mariscal literally just throws Jackson right off of him. And then a big right hand lands from Mariscal with like 30 seconds left in the round. So I gave round one to Chepe Mariscal, cleared 10-9. Round two starts right back in the clinch. Jackson lands some more knees in the clinch. The fight goes to the ground. Then it gets into a scramble. Chepe Mariscal lands on top, starts with a little ground and pound here and there. But they pretty much were stuck in this position for a little while. And every so often, Chepe Mariscal would sneak in like 1 or 2 hard ground and pound strikes. And then they pretty much stayed in this position for what seemed like a few minutes. Chepe Mariscal also ended up coming pretty close to ending the fight with ground and pound this round. So I wouldn't be surprised if this round was a 10-8. I gave it a 10-8, but if you gave it a 10-9, I would totally understand that as well. So round three, Jackson's coming out. He's throwing a little bit more, but there's just not a lot on his punches. I think that has a lot to do with all the grappling and all of the clinching and all the scrambles they've had in round one and round two. But then they land back in the clinch. Chepe lands another takedown. He ends up getting Jackson's back. Then another scramble ensues, and then they go round and around. Scott ends up on top with back control. He also gets some ground and pound. Jackson keeps moving, but isn't really putting up much of a fight. Chepe Mariscal comes very close to ending the fight again. It was very close to getting a finish, but ultimately it's 10-9. Could be another 10-8 for Chepe Mariscal, but he wins by unanimous decision. Then we come to the main event, Sergey Spivak versus Marcin Tybura. Round one of this fight, Spivak comes out and lands a right hand to start the fight, a nice right hand to start the fight. Gets Tybura's attention from the jump. Spivak then gets the back and gets Tybura down on the mat. Tybura then spins into Spivak and ends up on top. So now he's inside of Spivak's guard. And then the next thing you know, Felder and Bisman are on the mic talking about how it's so unlikely a heavyweight lands an armbar. And then literally like a couple seconds later, Sergey Spivak swivels his hips, lands in the armbar, Tybura falls over and taps, and Sergey Spivak gets the win by first round armbar. So that's my recap, boys, of UFC Vegas 95. The UFC 305 breakdown should be out in a few hours, my breakdown and prediction video. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the support, guys. And until next time.